right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324, and with us, as always, we have Coolcat Terri. Hey, Terri, how are you?
Hey, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastic on this great weekend.
Oh, okay. Quick and short. Awesome. Shaddai, how are you today?
Good morning, I'm back.
You're back.
Yep.
All right, guys, and while we let the chat come in, speaking of the chat, let's check in with the chat if my thing starts working here. All right, we got You're Wicked Hot joining us this morning. Hello, You're Wicked Hot. Thank you so much. We have 108 Dragons TV Lemon saying, "Let's go." Thank you so much. We got Happy Cloud Gamer. Good Morgan. God Morgan. Okay.
Oh, dude.
We got Dirt Crickety. Hey, Dirt. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate your support. Let's see. Other people who have disappeared from the chat. We got Doggy Dog, as always, in the chat. Good morning to Doggy Dog, my panel member here, my co-panel member on the Iconic Video Games podcast. We have the Gina, who was our guest last week. Hey, Gina, thank you so much. Eternal Shaddai, they really won't let anyone on here these days. No kidding. we need to start having some standards.
Yeah.
Let's see. We also have Jesse Darby. Sorry, Jesse Darby. The chat is not loading. There he is. Okay. Jesse Darby, thank you so much for joining us. And DE, who says, deleted digital content. Now I'm interested. Yeah, well, that's one of our topics today. We'll definitely talk about it. So while we wait for the rest of our panel to come in, what have you guys been playing? Terri, what have you been playing this week?
I'm trying to remember. No. So I ended up finishing playing Mars Warlogs, and I started up with the Technomancer, so I've been playing that lately. It's been going well. It's been tough though, because my buddy that it's a single player game, but my buddy and I are playing it as if it was co-op. We're playing it, together step by step, communicating back and forth where we're going and what we're doing, so we can pretend like we're playing co-op. And let me tell you, my buddy doesn't read maps. He doesn't read his compass. He doesn't read any of that stuff. So I have to literally tell him, go so far, look for this, turn right, turn left. I have to literally go step by step, and he still gets it wrong. So it literally will take me sometimes over an hour just to go from one part of the map to the next part of the map, when it should take 5 minutes to go from one spot just to get him across, because he's not a navigator. And it's just rough. It's so rough, but it's hilarious at the same time, because everybody, I stream it, so everybody they get a kick out of me yelling at him, because he's getting all turned around, he's going the wrong way constantly. And I have to keep having him send me screenshots of where the heck he is on the map, so I can try to get him back on track. And it's work, but it's good times.
All right. It reminds me of MapQuest, oh yeah, travel to here, and it's before MapQuest or whatever, it's you would get directions yeah, travel to the third gas station on your right. It should be an M&M's Foods gas station. Go ahead and turn right there. And then you remember those days. And then you go up to you see the water tower. Back in the day.
That's how people today still give directions.
Yeah. The Graphic God joins us. Good morning. He says, good morning, Graphic God. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I did see Dan, the man Cunningham, saying, hello all. How's everybody doing? Well, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for stopping by. Shaddai, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Tales of Arise, and that game, that game have given me so much headache. So that drink that you were talking about earlier from coffee and alcohol, I probably might need that this morning, because it took me a while. I think it was one of those secret bosses, and I was pretty much seven levels below the boss. So I got whooped real bad, but now I kind of took revenge and beat him. But that's what I'd be playing, Tales of Arise. All right. 89 hours. 89 hours. 89 hours. And still not done.
Jeez. Have you gotten your combos down? That's the whole point of Tales of Arise, is to do some combos, because a lot of those enemies are very tanky.
Yeah. Actually, that's what happened.
Damage.
No, and that's what happened.
How to synergize with your group and pull off some combos.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that has changed. But yes, you are correct that you have to synchronize with other of your characters.
Mhm.
But it has changed quite a, the game have changed quite a bit. So sometimes it doesn't want, I can't synchronize.
Mhm.
So it only stays probably like 90 hits instead of 100. So sometimes I get nervous and start pressing the wrong button.
There you go. Hey, look who decided to stop by. We got Scrub Nurse. What's going on, Scrub?
Hey, sorry about that, man. I've been fighting mic issues for about the last 45 minutes, but hopefully everything sounds good now and everything's working. So let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Real quick, Fastback NLG joins us. He says, "Good morning, Xbox." Hey, Fastback, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate your support. And let's see. Pump up pool right now. I need to get a real pool. Yeah, you and me both, Happy Cloud Gamer. That's one of my goals right now is to get an in-ground pool in my house. So yeah, me and you both on that one. Texas is hot. Scrubbers, we've been talking about what we've been playing. What have you been playing so far?
Pew pew.
I've definitely done that. So yeah, I've done a little of my Call of Duty as usual per the week, and I started up Far Cry 5. So I'm not too deep into it yet, but I'm enjoying it. The beginning of the story is real immersive. So it's on Game Pass. So if you hadn't had a chance to check it out, do that. So I've been enjoying what I have been playing. I hadn't, like I said, I might be maybe an hour, a little past an hour deep into it. So I'm excited to see where that goes. But we've been with family and hanging out, so not too much playing this week, but I have got that in.
All right. Well, there you go. Far Cry 5 for him. By the way, guys, before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe and share it out that we are live. It really helps us, get those numbers up. And remember, guys, one like helps us defeat the YouTube algorithm and actually get noticed. Every like does. So this week, I've been playing, of course, my usual game right now, which is League of Legends. I've gotten fairly decent at it, except for the jungle lane, because I suck at jungle. I just can't get the timing right. If I win a game as a jungler, I win like an 0 kills, 6 deaths, but I have like 21 assists because I like playing tanky jungles, so I do 0 damage. Right.
That sounds like you in Halo when you play with me.
Oh, whoa, Shaddai. Calm down there. You're not that good. All right.
I'm just great.
Yeah. And then I'm also playing The Plague's Tale, Innocence. I'm slogging through it. I can tell you right now. I got flustered with one of the levels of trying to sneak around, so I just started murdering everybody. Like straight up, just killing everybody in a stealth game, which is not what you're supposed to do, but I got pissed. And I just I took it out on everybody. I killed the entire level. Nobody was left alive.
You went berserk. Now forget it. Hit him with the rocks and everything.
Basically, I basically just started slinging some rocks. But yeah, I'll get back into that one for in a little while when I calm down. And then I started playing Elder Scrolls Online this weekend because they are offering Elder Scrolls Online Plus for free this weekend until the 14th of this month. So I decided to jump on that free train and just enjoy the DLCs that I haven't paid for yet for the next few days. So yeah. That's what I have. And Happy Cloud, and real quick, sorry, my wife joins us. She's laughing because she was there when I got flustered and just started killing everybody. She watches me play. And of course, Happy Cloud Gamer says, "Did you see the new update for Skyrim, Mom? Now you can do everything in 4-player co-op." I did see it. Happy Cloud Gamer, I saw that that update. All right, so let's get right into it, guys, and we are gonna start with our first topic of the day, and that is Skull and Bones multiplayer. Got here, or not multiplayer, but the gameplay got here. So not only did we get a release date for Skull and Bones, but we got a good look at what the gameplay is going to look like on Ubisoft Forward. Is that what it's called, Terry?
Yep.
A Ubisoft Forward, yeah. So they had a special Ubisoft Forward event, one of many that they have coming up. So what did you guys think about it? Terry, you're our resident Ubisoft lady. Tell us what you thought of Skull and Bones.
I am quite pleased. I am quite pleased with what I saw. I watched. I had to, because I was at work when they did their whole live stream, so I had to go back and rewatch it later when I got home. But I definitely was really pleased with what they showed. They had the two trailers. You have the one that you have right there. It was more of like a cinematic kind of trailer that they did, and then they had a gameplay trailer they showed, and then they also showed actual gameplay with two of the devs. Kind of showing off all the different features, and it looks fantastic. It's exactly what I was looking for. They definitely made some changes from what we saw back in like 2018-ish to what they showed with the devs playing with the combat. You can see the changes. The older version, they had it to where you could do. It looked like you were doing more side range combat.
Yeah.
But then on this one, you could still shoot from the broadside, but the perspective was you were on the actual deck of the ship, and so they changed the perspective of it. I'm hoping that they still have the other way, because that was the big selling point for my husband, because he's all Navy all the way, and he likes to play warship, so he's used to being zoomed off the ship and doing all his targeting. So that's what really sold him, and they might have taken that out. I don't know, because they didn't show it.
I didn't see it. Yeah, you're right.
They might have taken that out, and if they took that out, then he might not want it anymore. So, but I still want it. I liked what I saw. The combat looks very similar to what the newer Assassin's Creeds have done with the ship combat stuff. So I'm excited there. Something I'm disappointed about is when you go and you board the other ships, when you play through like Origins, I think it was Origins, and I think they did it for
Black Flag.
I think Odyssey they did it as well. When you would board the ship, you would actually have that one-on-one melee combat on the ships. Looks like they removed it and they made it all automated. So it's just like an automated cutscene now when you board. So that sucks. Like I want to be able to go on board and fight the pirates on the ship and actually take over the ship. So I'm hoping maybe they will add that in, because that's a big thing, or at least have it for the PvP aspect, because they did mention they were going to have like a separate like PvP server. So maybe for that, when you board the ship, you actually get to do the actual fighting on the deck with each other. That's crucial. Like, they need to have that in there in some fashion. But otherwise, everything was good. Of course, everyone is there's always the haters out there who are just anti-Ubi everything. So they're like, oh yeah, it looks like an Xbox One game or 360 game or whatever. Like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You haters, you're just salty.
That's right.
But no, it looks pretty good. I mean, it doesn't have the high end, realism graphics that you would see in like a Call of Duty, for example. But I mean, it doesn't. Not every game needs to go for realism. So I do like what I see there. And I definitely I'm looking forward to playing it. It has all the things that I had wanted that Sea of Thieves didn't do, especially when it comes to like the merchant routes and going after the merchants. Like that was one of the biggest things I complained that Sea of Thieves didn't do. And so I'm happy that they captivated not captivated, but I can't think of the right word now. But I'm happy that they did that, because that's huge. And it's not, and then we saw here that we're not going to be 100% on the ship, which is good. You can move around and find people to talk to, kind of like how Sea of Thieves does it. But I think they went a little bit more in depth on this, because Sea of Thieves, you don't really have too many people to talk to. They have like the same set of like 6 people you talk to on every place. So it looks like this one might be a little bit more involved, which is good. And right here, they're showing that they're buying the food. This is crucial too, because you actually can have mutinies on your own ship. This is awesome. So if you end up being, someone who thinks that they can just do what they want and, go in there and not give a, dang about your crew members, guess what? Those crew members are going to, take you out. So that's awesome. It shows that you have to be strategic. You have to, focus on not just your gameplay with dealing with other enemies, but you have to make sure you're also taking care of your crewmates, which is awesome. I love that they did that. Pretty cool little aspect there. But yeah, no, I'm happy with pretty much everything I saw. There's just a few things that they tweaked that I'm kind of concerned about, but who knows? They might still add it later down the road. Who knows?
There you go. All right, so that's Terri's thought on Skull and Bones. She's all in.
I'm all in.
She's going to be living the pirate life. Shaddai, what did you think of the Skull and Bones trailer?
From what I have seen, actually, I liked it, but it's a game that I will play probably not. But from what I have seen, it has a lot of customization on that game, for your boats, different kinds of boats that you could use. If you're a merchant, you're going to have a lot of space. Some of them are fast, easy to turn. Some of them are slow. So from what I have seen, it's pretty good. It's really, really, really good. But it does give me a little bit of a Sea of Thieves vibe, even though they made changes that you could go out or anything like that. The only thing that I have on mind, unless if I'm wrong, is that it's all about reputation in here.
That's right.
So the thing is that, let's say you do a lot of things and your reputation is really high up there. Will you be the one that have that little wanted, that wanted picture that, remember, because it's PvP. So are they going to chase you to get all the, because you are like really wanted? So that's something that I'm thinking about, that, by being pretty much a good player, are you going to be the wanted one? Are people are going to follow you and get pretty much whatever loot you're carrying? So it brings more competition to that, to the game. But from what I have seen, well, a lot of battles. Yes, you have to take care of your crew. But other than that, it looks good, but it is not for me. So it's a hard pass for me.
Oh, man. No pirate life for Shaddai.
Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is there. He's around the corner.
All right. So there you go with Shaddai's take. Scrubners, what do you think of Skull and Bones, what you saw?
Well, based on what I saw, it looks pretty good. The gameplay, I mean, not the gameplay, but just the regular trailer. One thing first popped out in me is like they actually did black people's hair right. So I was like, it wasn't just bald headed, it wasn't just an afro, and then
the buzz cut.
Right, and then the hairstyle he had wasn't just a straight waft, just swath to the side. It was actual hair texture, and it looked like they actually put time into it. So I was happy to see that. The story that they're telling, how you can come from from anywhere, from nothing, and then be able to be a captain. I wish you would have showed them with actual full captain suit. It showed them like you have stolen captain's armor, not armor, but a suit, but you're still walking around in flip-flops. I'm like, when you gonna get some boots? I want to see some boots with swashbucklers, but you don't have any bucklers. But the gameplay, that's what made me go, oh wow, they're really going in depth with this. You got your different gameplay styles. You're not just a pirate. You could be this type of pirate versus that type of pirate. You could have this kind of boat. The different things you can add to your ship, your defenses. That was one thing too that I looked at. You could put your different defenses on your ship to protect yourself. The way that you can interact with land and your boat, also your crewmates. Like Terry said, to be able to deal with them, and then they could revolt. They could just keep everybody happy. It's very in-depth. It looks like they put a lot of work lot of time in it, which that's what I wanted to see. If you're going to be, quote, like a lot of people have been saying, Sea of Thieves killer, which I don't think is a Sea of Thieves killer, because I think this is a totally different type of game. You need to have this stuff in here. You need to have, and you can tell Ubisoft has been able to do that with, if you just look at Assassin's Creed, as they've been going up, they start putting in their skill trees, being able to add this and add that to your character. You're just not all tired, just walking around with blades in your hands. Now you got all these skill trees and stuff, starting with Origins and Bayek. The thing with this game is when Black Flag came out and then you had to start doing all the ship stuff, that's when it kind of left me, because I was more wanting to be on the ground, fighting and doing everything myself. I like the aspects of when Black Flag was in there and being able to use a ship and fight against other ones, but it wasn't nothing that just really grasped me, where it was like, man, I got to be a captain of a ship. This is, some people, they veered down the road of, ooh, I got to have ships, and I love the ship part. And some people said, I love the regular part of Assassin's Creed. I think this is kind of where I am with Skull and Bones. It looks like a great game. It looks like it's going to be fun to play. I think it will be a hit with the people who want to play with it. The one thing that I'm scared about this game is the date, the release date, November 8th. And this has nothing to do with Call of Duty.
Yes, it
does. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Call of Duty
want that pew.
Call of Duty comes out October 28th. But what comes out November 9th?
God of War.
God of War.
That's right. Happy Cloud Gamer here brought it up earlier. He said, still don't know about the date / God of War. Exactly.
God of War.
For me,
I know this came out before God of War put their date out. They've been planning this. It's just, I hate when you have so many good games, so many quality games, and you're trying to hit the holiday cycle, you're going to have something like this. What was it? Titanfall came out same Titanfall, what was it? Two came out the same week as Call of Duty and just got destroyed.
And
I think it was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Call of Duty and Battlefield.
I thought it was Red Dead 2.
Right in the middle of both of those games, and it got destroyed. And Titanfall 2 was a great shooter. It was even better than Titanfall 1, and it just got lost in the shuffle. And I hope that this does not happen. Now, you're going to have totally different player bases for this, but you're going to have some overlay. You're going to have some people who love this type of game, who love Ubisoft game, but God of War is something that even some of the most hardcore Xbox fans, they're going to play God of War. Just like there's some games Xbox has, like, maybe the Halo or Gears, that's some PlayStation fans have the other Xbox just so they can play these certain games. So I just hate for something that has branched out.
Right. I think it can still work out, though, because I feel like the people who are interested in it, they're going to play it. When it comes out, they're going to get a feel for it. And then if they really enjoy it, they'll come back when they're done with God of War. Because God of War is one of those games. Now, it's not for everybody. Some people will do multiple playthroughs, but I feel the vast majority, when it comes to single player games, they play it through the one time and they move on. So they'll play God of War, have it done within like 1 or 2 weeks for those that are like hardcore playing it every day. They're going to get it done, and then they're going to go right back to Skull and Bones or Call of Duty or whatever else they were playing beforehand. It's one of those things whenever a single player game like God of War or anything like that comes out, everybody plays it to death like that first month, and then that game just plummets. No one cares anymore because everyone's done.
Everybody plays it to death the first couple of hours. Most people do not finish games.
So either they're not going to finish it, or they're going to blast through that campaign, get to the game done, and then they're going to go back to the games that like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Skull and Bones, if they really enjoyed it before they got into the other one. They're going to go back to their more servicey games. So I think it's going to be a hard launch because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll the long term, they'll do better than God of War, because single player games don't have long term. It's all everyone hits it hard and fast and it's done.
That's right. Yeah, the date might be concerning a little bit, but I'm in the route with Terry. God of War. If God of War was a multi-plat like Call of Duty and Battlefield was, I think I would be more worried. But the fact that it's on one platform only, and there's still the PC crowd, there's still the Xbox crowd, there's still the shared console route, the multi-console owner crowds. I think Skull and Bones will do just fine, just because it's multi-platform versus single platform. So yeah, that's what I believe will happen. Real quick, let me check in with the chat real quick before it gets way past me. Let's see. Back from the dead, he joins us. Thank you so much for joining us. Back from the dead, Crazy Greek Dude shows up. Thank you so much, Crazy Greek Dude. We appreciate you. Cerebral Paul is in the chat, but in pain, but here. Hey, I told you, Paul, go ride a roller coaster, man. they help, from what I understand. Paul, if you don't know, Paul is not feeling well. So, let's see what else we got. Lethal Terminus joining us. Hey, Lethal, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate you. So yeah, there you go. Let me give my thoughts on what I saw on it. So first off, I like this ship customization that you can choose armor types and weapon loadouts. You can choose to have regular cannons, artillery cannons, flamethrower cannons, rocket cannons, and then like each cannon has an upgrade. Like I saw someone use regular rockets, and then somebody's using artillery rockets, which explode on impact, which was really fun to watch. The fact that everybody basically starts off with this little ship that they're showing off right here, and you got to work your way up to a bigger ship. That's kind of nice, that you're not limited to the size of your ship. The sailing doesn't look like it's overly done, at least not from what I saw. It seems to be much closer than it looks like on the map. The map looks huge, but apparently it doesn't take that long to sail, which is fantastic, because nothing's more boring than traveling from point A to point B with nothing to do. And that was a huge problem with Sea of Thieves at launch, was between your destination and where you were, there was a lot of sea out there, and the sea was at the time when it launched was pretty dead, if I'm being honest. So you had to have some patience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of those sails between objectives took 20 minutes, so you were not going through it quickly on Sea of Thieves. So it does look like, from the gameplay trailer, that it is much quicker to sail. I also like that the trading hubs, the big hubs, are safe zones where you can't get attacked and can't attack anybody and don't take damage. That's great. When it came to the combat, the views were kind of weird. Like you see this guy using the crow's nest view, and then you go to the captain view, then he goes to the outside view, and it's like, okay, so which view is which? I am so lost. Like he went through so many views, and then he does the spyglass view. I'm just like, whoa, that's a lot of views. So it does sound like you're going to be managing a lot of views just to get an idea of everything that's happening around you. So it does seem like, okay, if you want to see far out, you got to go to the crow's nest, but you might lose control of your boat or not be able to shoot. If you want to navigate, you got to do it through the steering wheel. I don't know if that's really how it's going to be. They weren't that specific. That might be just stuff you discover. But if it is that way, that you can only do this while you're here, or you can only do that while you're there, that's not going to work on a single player controlled ship.
Well, I think that's what your crewmates are for.
Well, in Sea of Thieves, that's what it is. But this is Skull and Bones. You don't have crewmates on the same ship.
Well, I'm saying
he's talking about the NPC crewmates.
And I think that's how you jump from one view to another. You have one that sits in the crow nest, and that gives you the view.
I
that's
understand,
what I'm getting from
but
it.
The fact is that you don't control. If you can't control everything from every single view, it's going to be a downer for me. Like I know right now that you can. The spyglass is, from what I saw, the spyglass is limited to the crow's nest. So that makes sense, right? But what about all the rest? Like turning and speeding up and slowing down. If I'm in the crow's nest, can I still do that? I hope I can, because otherwise I don't know if that's going to be very fun. Or can you only do that kind of stuff from the captain's view?
Looks, like I said, it looks very similar, mechanic-wise as the Assassin's Creeds that have done this. And in Assassin's Creed, you could still steer your ship while you're changing all the different views. So if they kept it on that same vein, then I think it's not going to be as big an issue as you're thinking. And I think they're just jumping to all these views, so just for the show it off, so you know that all these are options. A lot of people aren't even going to use all those views.
Right, most people will not.
I had a lot of different view options, with the battles in Assassin's Creed, and I just stayed on the one because I didn't need them all. So
it's find one, that's it.
It's going to be your preference and which view you as a gamer prefer to use, for your style of gameplay, which is great to have those options in there. But a lot of people are probably going to stay on the zoomed out ship view so they can see around their ship. I'm personally this zoomed in view. I'm not going to really want to use that because I can't see who's coming behind me.
Right.
So it's
right. It looks pretty for the cinematics, though.
Yeah, it does. It does. But yeah. So I don't think it's going to be that bad.
I do like that when you're taking damage, you can brace your ship to take less damage to reduce the amount of damage. Right here, they were talking about it, where you see these red dots. You can brace your ship and take less damage. So that's kind of cool to take reduced damage instead of the full damage. And you can see here they're doing boarding activities. They're going to board the ship and fight, but it looks like it's all pre-rendered.
Yeah, that was disappointing for me there.
You don't get to do
automated.
Any actual ship boarding yourself, at least from what we saw. That's what it looks like. Maybe that will change, or maybe that's all they opted to. Like, hey, only the crew gets to board. I'm still busy fighting the fight.
And both of these features, that you're bringing up, have all been done in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and it also seems like you do have a battle zone. So here they got out of the battle zone, or the what did he call it? The loot zone or something. Where if the mission finished and you were outside of this yellow battle area, you might not get the rewards for it. So that was kind of weird, but it makes sense that you got to stay engaged.
Yeah, it keeps you from cheesing.
It's for progression though too, because it's kind of like, think about it when you play like your PvP games, you capture and hold, you have to be in the circle to capture. Same thing, they're in the circle, and if you see the little bars going up on the top, that's what it is. You leave the circle, then you can't progress the thing. So that's what it is. It's basically capture and hold.
Yeah, take this outpost, which was what you were trying to do, was to take the lumberyard, I believe, in this mission. So yeah, it looks fantastic though. I really like the array of weaponries, the different weaponries they had. It does look like it looks like a Ubisoft game, good character models, nice custom world, very colorful, which is what I love about these kinds of games.
Hope they kept the sea shanties in there.
Combat. They did put fast combat in this, which is fantastic, because I can tell you, like, if you fight a crew at similar ability as you on Sea of Thieves, that fight could go on for 20 to 30 minutes before one of you wins. Now, if you're much better than the crew, that's over in like 2 minutes. If you're much worse than the crew, well, that's also over in just like 2 minutes. So I do kind of like that the combat is fast-paced, which is, again, very Ubisofty. Nothing wrong with that. That you can choose the type of ship and load out before you go on a mission. You can change the colors of sails to identify each other's ships. And the big plus to me that Sea of Thieves doesn't have, that this game does have, is you can team up with other ships that are your friends. And Sea of Thieves, you can team up with other ships, but those other ships may not be your friends. And even though you team up with them, it's hard to coordinate if they don't get on the party or whatever it is with you. So I do like that you can potentially form armadas in this game and progress through the story together. Some co-op. Terry, I expect to see some co-op streams on this.
Yeah, this is definitely for you and your buddies to co-op together.
This game fixes the #1 issue that I feel that a lot of the people who played Sea of Thieves who didn't like it, the biggest issue was the fact that you didn't have one-manned ships. You had to have all players on one stinking ship, and that ruined the experience for a lot of people who couldn't get into Sea of Thieves. This allows everybody to control their own ship, so you can be more strategic. You know, have the one guy with, the one guy with, speed going ahead, and finding things, and having, the muscle, protecting the merchant vessel who's carrying all of our loot. You can do so much more with it than having everybody on one, and then it's like. And sometimes you have people who don't have anything to do because you have, the person steering and the person, reading the map, and the one person, working the sails. That's like, then you run out of things to do. So it's better. It's better. Everybody can do their own thing, and you can work it out. And I like it better. This definitely grabs me more because it fixes the issue Sea of Thieves has for those, like I said, that just didn't like having everybody on one ship.
Yeah, and of course this is going to be compared to Sea of Thieves because Sea of Thieves is the dominant pirate game in the world right now. So, Skull and Bones definitely, I like that they're not copying Sea of Thieves, that they are going their own route. So again, the audience could split, and you might have the Skull and Bones crew, and then you might have the Sea of Thieves crews. So everybody gets to play their own style. But back to Skull and Bones specifically, the things I don't like I said, it just looks very cutscene-y when it comes to other boats and to capturing this outpost. They captured the outpost and they showed that little cutscene of the people grabbing the loot. You didn't actually have to go onto the outpost to grab the loot. Now I don't know if that was just a shortcut for the sake of the gameplay trailer they're doing here, because they don't want to show the island combat, maybe. But I'm hoping that it's more involved than that. That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping that it's more involved than that. Because, But I do believe from the very beginning that Ubisoft did say that this is going to be a ship game. Period.
Yeah, ship battles. The ship battles is the primary focus in this game, not, running around and, doing melee. Whereas Sea of Thieves is the opposite. It's more you running around and then getting into ship battles too, but it's more you just running around. I was going to say,
Sea of Thieves is chaos. You gotta learn to navigate the chaos in Sea of Thieves.
The Skull and Bones is the opposite. It's meant to be more ship combat eccentric and stuff. So I hope they'll add some of the melee stuff into it, but I understand that that's not what this game's about. So
To me, it's giving the people who play Black Flag wanting a ship battle game exactly what they wanted.
Right.
With putting their Ubisoft touches. Like I think those animations that's going to be some of the main thing. I don't think you're going to be hitting the outpost as much like that. I think those animations are basically you won the battle. Here's your animation. Plus it kind of cuts down a little bit on time. You have time and development when boarding the ship is going to be more of an animation. So like I said, I'm excited to see what it is. I really am. They did a good job showing this off.
And Ubisoft being Ubisoft, they'll have a million different settings you can do where you could probably turn all the animations off if you really want to save time. So it's up to you.
Well, no, like that's another thing. Like Sea of Thieves, like whenever I would go on a Sea of Thieves and I wanted to do like a gilded voyage, which is like the voyages that reward you the most, especially after you become a pirate legend, you got to do these, legendary voyages. It takes 6 hours to complete one with a crew, right? So Sea of Thieves was not one of those games that you could just start up, play for an hour or two and stop. Like you had to play for 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours. So Skull and Bones might be doing the much faster pace combat, which it looks like the ships sink faster. You can fire. It looks like faster. Everything seems faster. It just seems more fast paced pirate combat than Sea of Thieves is.
Yes.
And
fantastic.
Yeah.
I want to get stuff done.
Yeah. But like I said, Sea of Thieves has its charm and its place, obviously. And as I said, it is the dominant right now pirate game in it has other people have tried to dethrone it and failed miserably.
Nah, Sid Meier's Pirates is number one.
Yeah,
That game's been around forever.
Sure. What was that game that came from what was it? Atlas? That was everybody was saying that, there's the Sea of Thieves, this is what this is doing Sea of Thieves better than Sea of Thieves does it, is what they were saying, and nobody talks about it anymore. I don't even know if anybody plays it. So, as I said, hopefully Skull and Bones is successful, does find its crew, and I think it will because it's different. It's not copying. So I think it will.
I do find it funny though too. I do find it funny though too when people say that they're copying Sea of Thieves when originally this game was set to release before Sea of Thieves, so they had a lot of development done. And then of course they've seen what Sea of Thieves has done over the years, so they've been able to retweak things that they may have had that Sea of Thieves had tried and didn't work. So they've had the opportunity to be like, okay, that was a big fail on their part. Let's not make that mistake and let's change it. So that's good too. Another thing that we didn't mention on is you have pets. You have pets. So, like in here, you see that there's a cat. I saw the ring-tailed lemur in there. I'm wondering what other options there's going to be.
If there's one thing I don't care about in games, period, is companion pets, companion animals.
It's cool.
Unless that companion animal serves a purpose, like, I don't know, it's going to attack bad guys, or like in Fable, where like my dog would help me find buried treasure.
Yeah,
I know, like
Torchlight.
Torchlight has the best companion animals because they fight, they carry your loot. You can send them to town to sell your loot and come back, so you don't have to waste time going to town to sell your loot.
Yeah,
Torchlight has the best companion pets out there. But it's a nice touch, Again, from the way it looks, they're just there for cosmetic. They're not doing anything. They're just chilling on the post. But who knows? Maybe they'll do something comical with them. Who knows? But it's a nice little touch for people who like having the different variety of pets on there because to make your shit more your own.
Right.
I'm wondering about the microtransactions.
Oh, it's Ubisoft, baby. It's a live service game. But I think it's going to be mostly cosmetic. There's no way they can make a game like this uncosmetic. The one thing that I did notice is it does not look, from what I've seen and heard, it does not look like it's going to have PvE only servers. It looks like it's going to be everybody on the same server, so you're going to have to fight, the NPCs and other players. So that is another big complaint that Sea of Thieves has always gotten, is that some people just want to do the adventure on their own. They don't want to be, stressed out from
the grief
from other players being in there. Because I'll tell you what, if one thing Sea of Thieves does in spades is anxiety. If you have anxiety, Sea of Thieves is not going to help you out. And Skull and Bones appears to be doing the same thing. When you have your loot and you're about to get run over by someone else, that is one of the big complaints. Now, I myself don't mind having other players in the world because I don't care. It's just a game, right? But I know some people take it too hard. But yeah, I've gone Sea of Thieves like 5 hours into a mission and finally finishing it, finally getting my epic loot and just immediately getting jumped by another alliance, and all my hard work, my 4 or 5 hours of work went down with my ship. It is flustering. So yeah, and I don't think that Skull and Bones is doing any different. PvEVP is still in there.
Yeah, and then I'm hoping there's the option to disable that because they did mention PvP servers. So for people who just want to do nothing but PvP, they'll have that option. So I'm hoping they do the same with people who don't want to do PvP at all, because there are the gamers who don't want to deal with the griefers coming in, killing us, taking all their loot.
Right.
Because they even mentioned that if you die mid-mission, you have to go back and retrieve your loot because another player could take it. So like that's going to be a huge turn-off.
Like, I'm sorry if I sank you.
I know. I mean, you're pirates. That's literally what they do. Is they plunder and they take people's stuff. It's the point. But from a gaming side, there are people who are not going to want to do that. So hopefully they have a balance to appease both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, I hope so too. Let's check in with the chat. There's a funny conversation here happening from NLG. The size of the ship doesn't matter. Yeah, it's about the motion of the ocean, right? Assassin in the streets, pirate in the ocean sheets. Oh my god, so funny.
Oh
Thanks for that one, guys. That was funny. Nix joins us. Hey, good morning, Nix. Thank you so much for coming in. Timoth is in the house. Hey, Timoth Bot, thank you so much for jumping in. Appreciate you. Nick says he's interested in the PvE aspect of the game. Me too. Me too. And of course, we are also joined by Dreadpool. Hey, thank you so much, Dreadpool, for coming in. Appreciate you. And somewhere in here, there we go. General Spartan 27 joins us. Ubisoft is bold to release this game between Call of Duty and God of War. Hey, you know, when you think you have the good property, that's what you do. You don't care, and I kind of like that games just come out when they come out. Personally,
honestly, if you're going to have a game come out in the fall, there's never a good time. There's always going to be like that big game that everyone's eyes are on every single dang year.
Every
so
fall.
like you can't even use that as an argument that they're bold. It's like that's literally every single year since the beginning of time, you know, for gaming. Like that's not even a thing. It's like they always have that.
You know what would have been bold? Instead of Skulls and Bones, they will release Beyond Good and Evil 2 against Call of Duty and God of War. That would be bold.
That game ain't coming out.
No, they just made an announcement.
Yeah, they did. I saw the announcement and I laughed at it too. I think that's to satiate people for another year.
Yeah, Shaddai.
I don't know. Like we literally just thought that there's no way they were going to release Skull and Bones this year, and now look.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that we got that announcement so close to release it. That way you don't have to wait a year for it. So yeah, or 2 or 3. Let's see. We also have Back from the Dead says it's Athena's Voyages, Axel. Yes, the legendary pirate voyages are Athena's Voyages. I know. And they also have the harder to kill enemies that instead of dying in 7 swipes of the sword, they die in 9, all that good stuff. Yeah. Tony Grasso joins us. Doggy Dizzle, Doggy Dog 420. Thank you so much for joining us, Tony Grasso. Appreciate you. I'm not sure what you're in reference here, Paul. I need more context. Sorry.
He's talking about the griefing and playing against other players in the environment.
Oh yeah, it is. It is definitely frustrating. It is definitely frustrating. But yeah. So yeah, there you go. So Skull and Bones, guys, did get it. It releases November 8th to take on God of War, Call of Duty, and see if it can make a dent in Sea of Thieves' dominance, which I think it will. How big of a dent? I'm unsure, but a dent.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, at least Terry won't be.
At least all the people who no longer have interest in Sea of Thieves and have moved on, they'll definitely be jumping on Skull and Bones.
Yeah, and Sea of Thieves is still a juggernaut. They have 30 million monthly active users, so I mean it is a juggernaut of a game.
But remember, the difference is that Sea of Thieves came with pretty much no. I'm not gonna say no content, but some content. So if this one comes,
it was bare bones. Just say it was bare bones, Shaddai. It was bare bones.
That's why it's called
Skulls and
bare
Bones.
So I hope it doesn't be Skulls and Bones, actually with nothing either. So
booted that game up, and all you could do was steal chickens. I was so upset.
Get snakes.
Hey, but at least I hope it comes with a lot of content on this one, Skulls and Bones. You know what I mean?
Like
it looks like it, but look what happened. For example. Oh my God! What was that?
This is Ubisoft.
It's like the Division.
Just think of Odyssey and Origins, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. When you look at the map, there's like 200,000 waypoints to do stuff in. So I don't see this not having stuff to do.
I do believe from the way they were talking about it, because we're going to start out in the Indian Ocean, the way that they were kind of, tiptoeing around it, it sounds like there's going to be, additional content where they're going to have us go to like the Caribbean and all the other places, over time. So I feel like You know, it's going to be very expansive in time, but it's going to be in time. Don't be like, oh my God, there's no content because I can only be in the Indian Ocean. This game's no good because I want to go to the Caribbean. Like, give it time. Like they're not going to give you everything.
Hey. The Caribbean is Sea of Thieves territory. You stay out of there, all right?
You know?
I think the game is not big enough because it says Indian Ocean and then all of the train says West Indies. So I'm like, so that means it's around the corner. So it's 10 minutes
around the corner.
according to you to the video, it's supposed to go from the coast of Africa to India. So that's a vast ocean.
Mm-hmm. And if you look at like the map sizes just for like Assassin's Creeds and stuff, like just going on a ship, it was flipping massive. So they might have did that again. They might have dialed it back. Who knows? But the good thing about them having the massive map, like Axel had touched on earlier, is it's a lot faster to travel in Assassin's Creed. So
yeah, that would be interesting. A fast travel on boat.
You know, the one thing though that I didn't see that it looks like they might have removed is the ramming of the ships. That was one of my favorite tactics.
No, I saw them ramming.
They were ramming, but there wasn't the option where you actually hit ram to do additional damage. It was just them bumping each other like bumper cars. That's not the same. Like you have to have the actual skill to ram so you can devastate the side of the ship. It's different.
All right. Jason Max says, just remember Xbox is number one. Anybody else got any final thoughts on Skull and Bones that they want to get in before we move on?
Ubisoft is number one.
Ubisoft is number one. Bring a lot of content.
Number one in my heart. Played on Xbox, the home, the should be home of Ubisoft.
That's right. The should be home of Ubisoft. There you go.
We don't want no bare bones, Skull and Bones. That's pretty much it.
I don't think so.
No.
I hope so.
Scrub, there's any final thoughts?
Oh no. No final thoughts. Ready to go.
All right, let's move on then. You know what? It's about halfway through the show. I think it's a good time for Terry's section here.
All right, everybody, I got another one for you all today. Now, I want you all to raise your hand. Where's my retro gamers? Like, where are my retro? I know Paul's here. When I say retro, I mean like old school retro, not 360 retro, like old school retro.
Like DOS. Like Oregon Trail retro, right? Like Oregon
Trail. DOS,
yeah.
Mecca. Remember, Mecca was like the go-to game maker. Mecca. So, like, yeah, like, go way back, I got something I'm going to show you guys that's going to appeal to the old school gamers in the art style of this game. Now, what I'm about to show you is a game that is adventure, it's puzzle, and it's unique in what they did. And so, I'm gonna have you watch the trailer. The trailer may not grab you right away, but this game has nothing but high praise. It's well done. People loved it. And so, yeah, let me go ahead and show you the return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh, a pirate game. Oh, you weren't kidding with DOS.
The music score in this, man.
My DOS never sounded this good.
No, it did not. Not a beeps.
You bastards may take exactly what I know. Come on before she kicks off. Let me help. What madness is this? Keep throwing! Where is her? Let them go!
Oh, whoops.
Go back!
I thought that was over.
These trade ships. These Denyaman. Not much keeping them above water. The planks of wood and the grace of God. Only surprise about the Obra Dinn. It's come back. Empty.
You're not kidding. The music is pretty good. Oh, he won a BAFTA? That's a serious award.
More than one BAFTA.
It even won at the Game Awards. Wow.
Okay, now it's done. So yes, the return of the Obra Dinn, which is fitting as we just got done going into pirate stuff, so I got you more pirate stuff, you know? Keep it on theme. So this game takes place, as you saw, it's in 1807. Hold on, it's playing again on my end. Shut up. All right, so it takes place in 1807. You play as an insurance inspector for the East India Company, and basically it's like a mystery. The Obra Dinn, you know, it went out and then it came back with no crew. Woo! You gotta figure out what happened. So you go aboard and you gotta, do your insurance adjusting, and you also at the same time, it's kind of like the game of Clue. Who done it? What happened? You know, this guy was stabbed with a sword. This guy was beat over the head with a candlestick. You know, all the things. So, figure out what happened. And it's really, really cool. As you saw, it won a lot of awards for, its gameplay, its art design, its narrative. It's, it's something like the sound for this game is so well done between the music and like just the audio in general is very, very well done in this game. It's a lot to appreciate here. It's got nothing but high praise from the players who have tried it out. A lot of people talk about how when they got into it, they just got, hooked in. And they couldn't put it down. So it's definitely a very good gem that everybody should at least give a try to. I know the art style is something that might put off a lot of people because everybody wants realism these days. But check it out, please. It's very good. It is available on the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. It's everywhere. It's $20. So go ahead and check it out. Hopefully it'll end up on Game Pass one day. But until it does, go ahead and check it out for what it is. It's fantastic, and I hope you all.
There you go. All right, guys. The music sounded great. Another fantastic indie from Coolcat Terri. Let's move the show right along here. Let's check it with the chat here, what they're saying. Back from the Dead says 5.5-inch floppy disk count as retro. I remember my
PC
yes. Used them for games, and you had a code to put into the load the game. Yeah.
Yes, back in the days, and they're like, yo, go to, in your manual, go to, page 10, paragraph 4, third word in the first sentence, you're just like, what? Gotta crack this thing.
That was the copyright protection back then. You needed those manuals.
You didn't have that manual. That was like the worst. Like you go to garage sales to buy games and they didn't have the manual. You had no way of getting into the dang game. So.
Exactly. Cerebral Paul says, we slapped rocks together back in his day. Those were video games. You see the sparks? Ooh. Oh, my goodness. I had the Commodore 64. Really, Scrub?
Yeah. Commodore 64 was my first gaming anything. Commodore 64. I got a little gray.
A little gray. So funny. Yeah, no, I have no grays right now on my head, but I did start getting grays on my beard. Last time I saw my beard, which was before the pandemic. So let's see. Let's move it along here. So let's talk about another trailer. Should we talk about the trailer next? Yeah, why not? Let's talk about another trailer, guys. Here we go.
I don't hear any audio.
Oh man.
There's no audio.
There is no audio, you're right. There is no audio. So let's just talk about it because, well, let me see. I think I could reload it with the audio in there.
That's okay. We could be creative, making our own music for the game for the tournament.
Just imagine like the audio from like any of like the Batman films with like the dudes in the street. Like,
Let me see if it works this time, guys. Let me know. Hold on.
In local news,
can you hear
it?
it?
Okay, there we go.
Sorry, I didn't hit the check mark.
Disturbance? I'm a big fan. Now move.
Can you fly?
Shot fired.
What the hell is this? Where is all the money?
We all saw it hesitate in a life and death situation. Why?
Listen, I would trust this guy with my kids. I mean, if I had any. This was just an isolated glitch.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
There you go, baby. Yeah. Robocop Rogue City, guys. You know what? Let's go to the old man in the group first because I'm sure he experienced Robocop when he was in maybe young adult. Scrumners, what do you think?
No, I was
City.
I was a kid when these RoboCop movies came out.
Lies, because I was a kid and you're older than me.
This was the age where back in the 80s, all movies, because it was sex, violence,
gory.
There was always a boob in there for no reason because they thought they thought that's what brought folks to the movie theaters. So I remember these days of RoboCops. I'm excited to see what this game is, but I need to see more. This trailer just is all about saying, remember this. Me seeing, I hope this is not the final look. I hope this is basically they're still working on the game and it's going to look a little bit better than this. As far as the gameplay, I really didn't see much of the gameplay other than the reciprocating of the pistol. So to me, this is, hey, everybody get hyped. Remember RoboCop. Remember when RoboCop and he used to just shoot all bad guys and you didn't have to worry about arresting them. You could just shoot everybody for no reason. Even if they just jaywalk, you can just shoot them. Remember those times?
You could shoot them in the dick.
Yeah. Remember those times, but there wasn't really gameplay. So until I see gameplay, that's when I'll kind of make my my judgment if I want to play it or not. And everybody goes, "Well, wait, it has guns and it goes pew pew." Yeah, it does, but that doesn't necessarily always drag me to a game if there's guns in it. So, yeah, like I said, to me, this hit almost all the gameplay. All this was cutscenes and a little shooting. So I hope it's good. I hope when it finishes out and I get to see it, I go, man, I would love to get a chance to check out this game. But right now, it's just bringing back all those memories of those movies back in the day. And once I see gameplay, I'll give my more in-depth review of what I think about it.
All right. Well, there you go. Of all the people I thought would be excited, not only was it a pew pew, but RoboCop from his childhood was Scrub Nurse. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong.
It looks cool, but it looks like the animations and to me, when you have your resolution and the way the game looks not up to par for, especially when you got these new gen games coming out I need to have gameplay to pull me in, because you can have a game with the visuals not being the best, but the gameplay is great. So when you show me these visuals that are not the best, but then you don't show me any gameplay, it kind of throws me off. If you show me good gameplay, I'll say, man, I'm ready to play that game, no matter what it looks like. But if you show me kind of poor looks, but then you hide the gameplay, I can't really say what I wanted or not. All I can say is, oh yeah, I remember Robocop. It was awesome. So we'll see.
All right, well there you go. That's from Scrub Nurse. Shaddai, let's go to you real quick. Actually, hold on, Shaddai. Let me interrupt you for a minute here. Let me read the chat. Nick says, I really hope that this doesn't turn out to be like the Terminator. Now we had the Mag pop in.
Exactly.
Saying that he's gonna go hang out with Noof. Let me see if I can find where he said it. There
he's
he is.
talking blasphemy.
Good day, folks. On my way to meet Noof. Hey, you know, if that's how you want to spend your Sunday, go for it. No, I'm just kidding. Have a good time. Have a good time, Mag. Tell Noof we say
Make
hello.
everybody jealous.
Yeah, it should be a fun time.
Yeah. Always. I really hope this doesn't turn out to be like Terminator Resistance. I thought Terminator Resistance wasn't that bad. Everybody started quoting lines here. Dead or alive, you come in with me. I'd buy that for $1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And DE did mention something that I would like to explain here. Where'd it go? Here we go. Where did she say it? I think she did. Yeah, she did. Here we go. DE. I didn't pay attention. Was the green tracking cursor a cursor? Was it centered? Non-centered cursor sounds like a rail shooter. So in Robocop the movie, he does have a cursor that moves across his visor to help him target.
Mm-hmm.
And he can target down to like wherever he wants to go, and that cursor also helps him zoom in on its target. So it's basically his targeting cursor. How it will work in the game is yet to be done, but I hope that the cursor might be an ability, like a sharpshooting ability that you get with your gun. Because if you remember, the Robocop gun had a lot of different bullets in it.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah, I'm thinking that it might just be a firing mode for your gun.
Yeah. Or
like in the zone.
If they don't put any mechanics in it, it might just be, cosmetic to give you that idea that you're like this futuristic.
Yeah, that you're scanning for bad guys or something. That's right. So let's see. DE says, I'm a firm believer that gameplay trailers need to have an input log on the screen like a 2D fighter trainer does. I think it might take away from the immersion, but I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I do see what you're saying. I think some trailers might benefit from that, but not all of them. Happy Cloud Gamer posted some sad news. If everybody would like to read on that, I'm not going to post it on this on the show just because that's not what the show is about, guys. Sorry. Jago Coogan says, "What's up, fam?" And that's a day one buy for me. Peter Weller is voicing him. It's him sold for me. That's right. The original actor is voicing RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. So yeah. So Shaddai, what did you think of the RoboCop trailer?
Well, that he killed people. That's what I think.
Oh my gosh.
Those are criminals. Those are criminals, though. Hardened criminals.
They're not criminal. They're just bad guys in a good form. No, actually,
that just sounded like so contradicting. They're not criminal. They're just bad. Like, you want to be bad, don't you have to break the law, though? That would make you a criminal.
If RoboCop is shooting at you, you're probably a criminal. Just saying.
I know, with no mercy.
That's right.
I seen the movie, and when I saw the trailer, my first reaction was, will that game connect to the movies? Maybe a different storyline. That's the first thing that came up to mind. Is it gonna be similar to the movie? I don't know, because majority of the times when games are released, especially when it comes to movies, they always release wrong. It's not the only one that is actually doing quite well, is the Spider-Man, or like we talked about it before, Wolverine Origins, like that. So now that we're talking about RoboCop, I wanted to see if it actually connects with the movies. It looks good, and like Diego said, it does have the original, voice actor, so that's a huge plus. But the thing is that is it gonna be good? Is it really gonna be good due to the gameplay? I don't know. Will I play it? I'd rather wait until it's actually discounted. I would not say for $1. I'm probably gonna have a coupon
For
for
$1.
it.
For $1. If it's on Game Pass, you could buy it for $1.
Not even that. It could be games with gold.
Oh no!
So,
oh wow, man!
Wow, Shaddai, you already downgraded RoboCop to games with gold.
That makes sense. I mean, he is sitting in with the toilet paper right now, so I guess it makes sense.
Hey, you're not supposed to see this.
You know what? I believe the room you're sitting in there was in the trailer. Wasn't it getting shot up there? What are you doing over there, you bad guy?
No, yeah, they're just trying to downgrade the vocabulary instead of criminal, just a bad guy. So trying to censor it down. But see, there's a lot of See, I'm with Cerebral Paul. There's a lot of story to that. But I'm looking forward to it. But the thing is that there's other games more interesting than that. That's more for fanatic that love RoboCop. It is
like Skull and Bones.
It's gonna be called Metalhead RoboCop in it, but no, that's just a wait and see. If I think that's releasing next year, 2023.
They give no time.
Okay.
No time at all. So I hope they take their time. Yeah.
So, see, that's another important thing. Nobody care. Might as well not give a release date.
Wow. Wow, Shaddai.
Just go to the safe side.
Oh my God, Shaddai had to leave, guys. Oh no.
He's going in hard. He's going in extra hard. Jeez. Because
I'm not saying that the game is gonna be bad. It's just that at this time there is a lot of games that is gonna be released, especially big ones. You know what I mean? And that one is gonna be pretty much like this toilet paper on the shelf. So so nobody's gonna touch it unless if you're gonna be bored and you could play that on a weekend. But other than that,
unless you're bored. Wow.
yeah. People are gonna play this game.
Wow, Shaddai, holy cow.
If it's you, nurse, it's probably 1%. So at least you're giving them credit. So
guys, Eternal Shaddai is on Twitter at ET Shaddai. Be sure to let him know how wrong he is.
Yeah, at this man.
But I love RoboCop. Not for nothing, but I love RoboCop. But I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm just gonna wait and see for me.
All right. Terry, are you excited for RoboCop?
I am. I'm not as excited as I am for Skull and Bones, but it's still something that I will, look forward to playing. I do enjoy RoboCop. I watched the movies when I was a kid. I even played the horrible video game that they had on the NES back in the day. That game was, but I played it.
I played that one. Yeah.
There's a lot of me just punching, punch. But yeah, no, it's just it looks good for what what it was. This was definitely RoboCop. Is on the vein of what all of the things were back in the 80s. It's just. It's just the way the political climate was back then. The crime was at a huge rise from the 70s up through the 80s. So Hollywood pushed that with having these over-the-top dystopian movies. You had RoboCop, you had Terminator, you had Judge Dredd. And then they had their vigilantism with with Dirty Harry and all that. So that was the pinnacle of Hollywood pushing what the media
Escape from LA,
Escape from LA, and so it was literally because all that stuff was in the local news all the time, with the fear mongering, that they even put that in the movies. Literally, they put that. I can't remember. I think it was RoboCop. They talked about fear mongering, with the media. They touched on all this stuff. And pushing that. So, it's cool. And I'm looking forward to checking it out because, the movies are fantastic. I actually prefer RoboCop over Terminator. Terminator's fantastic. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but for me, all the RoboCops, were pretty, balanced, and then Terminator, I like the first 3 movies, and then it got milked to death, and it just kept going downhill, man. Like I can't with Terminator. But yeah, no. So I'm hoping RoboCop they do very, very well, and it doesn't do like Terminator, and they just try to capitalize on the name.
I feel like Terminator has like 15 timelines.
Yeah, it did. When you got time travel and stuff, and you're trying to do another movie, you have to keep messing with the timeline to get another movie into it. So
they're creating so many like paradoxes, and it's just confusing. Like I can't, like I don't watch any of the new Terminator films because I feel like it's just
the newest Terminator film actually follows in Terminator 2's footsteps, so that one I like.
Well, see, that's the thing. You have to say almost like those 2-3 movies that just came before it. Don't think about that.
Yeah, don't think about that.
Yeah, and
it didn't happen. We're erasing that. No,
yeah, that's right.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jago Coogan says RoboCop is one of my favorite old school sci-fi franchises, movie and game wise. So anything from that universe, I am a sucker for. There you go.
Yeah.
Real quick, going back to Shaddai. I will boo Shaddai.
She's gonna say, yeah, he's kind of right. So that's more of a wait and see.
And Cerebral Paul thinks you are very wrong. I agree with Paul.
He is. He knows he's wrong.
Yeah.
He's trolling.
No, I'm not wrong. It's just that I'm.
You're wrong.
Anything that is movie
you're wrong.
related, anything that is movie related comes wrong. That's what I'm saying.
No, you said less than 1% will play it. I mean, there's more people playing Candy Crush and defense games. So there's a niche that will play this game and buy it.
But that's what I'm saying. See, like Jago saying, it's coming out in June of next year. So think about from January to June. You know how many games we're gonna be having just alone on February, maybe?
Yeah, so, you know how many people jump to the next newest game when the next newest game comes out? When RoboCop comes out.
That's called speedrunner. That's not gaming.
So that's not. You can't speedrun RoboCop on the first playthrough. Shut up, Shaddai.
And I wasn't thinking of RoboCop, but yes.
But why are you trying to rile us up, Shaddai? You instigator.
He's young. He don't know no better.
Young. No, I've been around the RoboCop. I saw both of them. I'm just a huge fan of it. It's just when it comes to games, I don't know. You know what I mean? So
all
I don't know how they're
games have been duds. I'll go with Shaddai so far. Every RoboCop game has been a dud.
But you still played it though.
Yeah, no, hey, that's
what
not
I'm saying.
I was still making
played
it.
When you don't have nothing else to play, yeah, of course you have no other choice to play.
All right, then. So
DE
people are
wants
going
the
to play
anti-card
it.
device. Oh man, that would be so great. The one that basically cooks them when they're trying to steal your car. All right. What time are you all from work? Should Alex Murphy will fly to your place later.
Yeah, that means I'm gonna be looking around the window just to make sure that he doesn't pop in, like come out or something like that.
All right, so going back to RoboCop, my thoughts on RoboCop. I loved it. It looked fantastic to me because it kept the heart of the story. If you watch the trailer, it's using those 80 future cars. You know, they're still boxy, just painted fancy cars that the 80s dystopia future movies were known for.
Mm-hmm.
It used the gun, RoboCop gun, that had the different firing modes. It came out of his shoulder using the original voice actor, or the original actor's voice, not the original voice actor, the original actor's voice. Huge plus. The visor view, I love the visor view. All that stuff. And if I can't shoot someone in the dick, I'm going to immediately give this game a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. Because that is going to be definitely one of the things I'm going to try to do because it happened in the movie. If RoboCop can do it and I am RoboCop, I should be able to do it. Just saying. I love the fact that it had the bigger robots, the ED-209s. Yes, that's what they are. ED-209. So I like that those bigger robots are in there, the security robots. that basically they're huge and they're powerful, but they're still subpar in comparison to RoboCop, because RoboCop just has the armor to take them on. I love the fact that OCP is in there talking about RoboCop as an it instead of a human, which was a big premise in the movie.
Yep.
Was that, they bought Alex Murphy, they own Alex Murphy, all that good stuff. So I do like that part of it. So it does look like they're paying very respectful homage to the source material of the movie. You did get to fight in a huge warehouse-ish loading dock area, which, as you know, that's where drug dealers in the dystopia future 80s were.
And the
all
shipyards, yep.
That's right, the shipyards. They're all drug lords at shipyards. And I love the movie, Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me.
Yeah,
I don't see what isn't to like about what we saw, because it does show the movie essentially in the game, the details. And fun fact, RoboCop was one of my favorite superheroes when I was a kid. And yes, Scrub, I was really a kid, not a wannabe kid. Okay.
I was born 81, so I'm not that old. I'm not that old.
Yeah. But I couldn't see it because it was rated R. I had to convince my parents to rent RoboCop in the movie theater, and not in the movie, the Blockbuster. Back then, we didn't rent out of Blockbuster. I think we rented out of Subway, Safeway. That's what it was called, Safeway grocery store.
Oh yeah, I remember Safeways. Okay,
yeah, Safeway grocery store. They had a video there, and I had to wait because new releases were different prices than older ones, and I had to wait until it got off the new release onto the regular shelf before seeing it. And man, I was so excited. I had RoboCop action figures.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite hero for a long time before I discovered how awesome Batman was. But
see, that's the difference between you and me. When you were a little kid, RoboCop was your superhero. When I was a little kid, I was more on the Batmans and those different types, and so I understand the difference. I was more Terminator than RoboCop at that time.
You said that the car are boxy. It's right here. One of the cars right here. So just in case.
They were 80s cars were very boxy, man. Just gonna say it.
Because it was all about sleek.
This is exclusive though, just in case. This is just an exclusive. What we're dealing with for $1.
Yeah.
They got boxier nowadays. I mean, we literally have some that look like cubes. So,
yeah, look at the Cybertruck. Looks exactly like it.
I'm thinking more of, what was it, like the one Honda they have that Fit or whatever it is. It looks like that. It's literally like a freaking cube.
Yeah, the Honda Cube. It's literally called the Cube.
Is it called the Cube? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The Scion XB.
The Scion, yeah, the
Scion. Oh my god, those were terrible cars. Diego Kukin says, I was 10 when RoboCop released in theaters. Yeah. I just remembered liking the whole sci-fi premise of RoboCop. This is just, in the 80s, it was always gun blazing cops. There were these cops that were fighting crime, and they would go in and kill, massacre entire neighborhoods of people in the name of justice. And that was what was said in the 80s. That was very much 80 cop movies.
It depends, because Police Academy wasn't like that. It was just fun.
Beverly Hills Cop, Die Hard, another 48 Hours.
Yeah.
All those. Yeah.
So I was looking very forward to RoboCop. RoboCop, when did 1987? Yeah, you're correct.
Was 87? I was totally guessing. I think it was. It was. Okay, I just looked it up to verify. Yeah, it is 87. I nailed it!
I was 5.
And I remember just how excited I was when RoboCop 2 finally hit theaters. And I did go see that one in theaters. I was so happy. I don't know how far this game is going to go. I don't know if they're going to bring in RoboCane. Basically that drug dealer in an upgraded ED-209 outfit. But we will see. Hopefully they set it up for a sequel, because I am excited for this game. myself, and I do hope that that targeting mode is that scanner that DE
The visor.
was talking about is an ability that you can use. Maybe it has a cooldown. So yeah, hopefully it all works.
It probably
out
will.
in the end. And by the way, in case you don't know, guys, Robocop can beat the Terminator. As silly as you think that sounds, okay? I watch a series on YouTube called Death Battle where they compare the two the two things, and RoboCop easily defeated a Terminator. So
I kind of doubt it, but he's like half human, half machine.
That armor, man, that armor gets him through a lot.
Yeah, but Terminator is like full of metal.
Visor, man, it's OP. It's OP if you've ever seen some of the stuff. So
I'd rather say
I used to watch the RoboCop TV show too. I was really into RoboCop.
I'd rather say his gun is OP, not his visor.
I think it'll be good. It just needs to show more. Like I said, I just need to see gameplay, and that'll get me into it and some more of it. But people are going to play it. I tell you one thing that'll sell this game. They put in a collector's edition, and you have one of two things. You can either have the gun, like a replica of the gun, or the visor. If they have a visor that you can buy and that you can put on your head
and get stuck with it,
sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, if it's a visor, I'm totally buying the visor.
The things will sell.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic topic, guys.
Johnny 5. Oh my god, I saw that comment. Johnny 5. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Short Circuit. Oh, I love Short Circuit.
Don't disassemble.
Go
more input.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Stephanie.
Los Locos kick your face. Locos kick your.
I love that movie.
Kick your, what is it? Your Locos kick your balls into outer space. The Los Locos scene from Johnny 5. Oh my god, so fun.
I love Short Circuit. That's awesome.
All right, so there you go, guys. RoboCop, if you're excited, go ahead and let us know in the chat. You know what? Let me put a poll up in the chat. Let me know, RoboCop. For RoboCop.
Shaddai is going to be a no for sure. So that's one.
Shaddai's probably going to vote meh. Be sure to vote in the chat. Let us know if you're hyped for RoboCop, guys. With that being said, let's get into our last topic of the day. But before we do, Scrubners, were there any notable Game Pass releases this week?
Well, there was a big dump of games, so let's just talk about those real quick, and then anybody wants to look, we can look on that. But yeah, there was a good little addition of games that were added in.
Yeah.
Go to share screen.
The warden's looking for Shaddai.
Wait, who was?
The warden is looking for you. That's who that voice we heard.
So just so anybody knows, leaving soon. Those games there, I don't know how much
can see it. Maximize.
You can't see. Get some better glasses.
You know how little this screen is on my screen with everything else I got.
So here we go. These games right here leaving soon. If you want to check those out, please do. Also, what we have on here, My Friend Peppa Pig coming out July 14th. So for the folks who go, oh crap, here we go again. These are Game Pass fodder games, but hey, if you got kids, they love Peppa Pig, this might be something that they will love to do. Also, Paw Patrol. You got to remember, people, every game might not be for you, but every game is for somebody. Power Wash Simulator. I've talked and awesome. I've had at least 5 people telling me that they're excited for this game. Maybe it's just a good feeling, just the aesthetics of you cleaning stuff works for you, and maybe that's what it is. So I'm excited for you if you're excited for Power Wash Simulator. So
that game is fun.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did somebody say Peppa Pig? Because I'm all about the Peppa Pig right here. All right, sorry about that, Scrub. Go back.
No, you're good. And then Escape Academy. It's an escape simulator, so that seems like a pretty cool game that you can learn and check out. So if you're a fan of escape type of games, you have that on there. As Dusk Falls, like we said, that they've been showing and been previewing in these last couple of shows. That'll also come out on July 19th. So in the next week or so, we have a lot of games that are going to be dropping into Game Pass. If you want to see some of the stuff that's been in there already, like I said, Assassin's Creed Origin, we have a rhythm game right here, DJ Max Respect 5, like I said earlier, Far Cry 5, For Honor, Match Point Tennis Championships. If you like a little sport game, if you like tennis, you have that as well bumping in there. The Ninja Gaiden collection, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got your Yakuza games coming out, and then they also have that for Windows 10, those Yakuza games as well.
They put it back on, didn't they?
That's right. Now all the Yakuzas are on there right now.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's plenty of
Total War 3 Kingdoms is on there? Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's one I didn't get to play.
So there are lots of games for you to check out. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, if you like power washing, you might also like House Flipper.
Yeah, that's right. You want to do some shoddy work? Go for it.
Anything
and they got the garden DLC as well. So
anything that is away from Robocop, I'll play it.
So there's plenty.
2 Point Campus, guys. Don't sleep on 2 Point. It's a big franchise.
Shaddai, you're fixing up the houses that got decimated by Robocop. Okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It was kill, destroy, walk away. So there's plenty of games coming out that everybody can check out coming soon. So that's it for Game Pass right now. And just be excited because there's just going to be more and more games coming out each new month. So if you're ever like, man, there are no games to play, obviously you don't have Game Pass, or you haven't been looking at where Game Pass are. So we're at GamePassCounter.com. Check it out. And then also, if you have on your PC or your Xbox, there is a Game Pass area. It'll tell you too, and you can kind of go more in depth of what's available for you. Because this is just a list of what just recently added. This is just a list of coming soon. This is just a list of leaving soon. But there's a list of console games, PC games, cloud games, single player, multiplayer, co-op, your Bethesda, your ID games. There's over a total 513 unique Xbox games in Game Pass, and that's over console, PC, and cloud. So
that's crazy.
Check it out. When everybody says, "Oh, 100+ games," it's not just 100+ games. It's way more than 100+ games. So there's no chance you'll ever be able to say there's nothing for you to play. There's something on there for you to play. And I guarantee you, for the person who says they've played everything, there's something on there that you have not played.
If you haven't played Peppa Pig, don't talk to me.
Well, I'm leaving the show. See you guys later.
I'm just saying, if you say you're going to play everything and you haven't played Peppa Pig, you're lying. I am Peppa Pig, what my wife says.
Yeah, Rand might play it, get that 1,000 gamer score real quick.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. GoGo Paul says that was supposed to be the best Total War in the last few years. I didn't know 3K was on there. 3K. You mean Three Kingdoms? Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the better ones. DE says maybe power washing is us like reverse coloring book.
Yeah, maybe so. A lot of people like to color just to calm and soothe themselves.
That's right. House Flipper is more like crime scene cleanup meets hoarders. It's a Wilma Hood job simulator. That's pretty good, Cerebral Paul. That's pretty good. All right. Let's move on. Then Happy Cloud Gamer says he's going to play Paw Patrol with his kids. Definitely.
There you go. There you
go.
Let's move on to our next topic. And that is that the competition, we live in the digital era, digital rights era. And, hold on. Before we do that, let me end the poll here. Hold on. Let's end the poll. Terry, can you tell us how the poll came out?
Yes. So are you hyped for Robocop? 73% yes. 26% said meh. And nobody said no. So there was nobody that was like not interested in you know. So.
There you go. Robocop FTW. All right. Let's see. Let's move on here. So the digital age, there comes that time when you can no longer buy content. But traditionally, if you own the content, as long as the store was still active, you could download it and keep it. Now, I say the store is still active because we all know that like Nintendo Switch Online or the Wii Shop or the 3DS Shop, when those marketplaces shut down, access to the emulation on that marketplace died with it. So a lot of those older titles went with it. If you were subscribed to a music service that was basically not Pandora or not Spotify, you may not have access to that music anymore. I know I was subscribed to Groove Music for a while, and Groove Music is dead, and any purchases I did on there are dead. So that was my lost money.
iHeart still exists. Yeah, you don't hear about it.
It might still exist.
I think
iHeart.
so.
You know, so the digital era comes with its caveats that, yeah, it's convenient and it's right now, but you might lose access to your stuff if the store goes down. But historically, if the store was up, you had access to the stuff you purchased no matter what. That's changing. So according to reports from GameIndustry.biz, as of August 31st, 2022, due to evolving licensing agreements with content providers, you will no longer be able to view your previously purchased content from Studio Canal, and it will be removed from your video library. Now, that's on the competition PlayStation. I'm not so much focused on PlayStation as I am on the digital side of purchasing. I have not heard of content that you have paid for being removed while the store still exists. This is the first time I have it. You've heard of this, man?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of this.
As a Ubisoft fan, Ubisoft has done this to me on more than one occasion. I have bought games digitally. They decided, you know what, we're going to take that version off the Xbox marketplace. We're going to bundle it because Ubisoft loves to bundle. And so then they'll be like, oh, you don't own this content anymore. You must buy the bundle to continue using this content. And then I have to go, and then I have to, call up Ubisoft and be like, yo, man, I bought the gold edition of The Crew 2, and now you're telling me I don't own this game? I am not buying the bundle that has, The Crew and Steep in it when I already own The Crew and Steep. I'm not doing that. So, so they've done this to me, and I've had to call them. I've had to go and pull up my receipts on my Microsoft account to show that I did indeed own the game. Then they'll go and they'll give me a brand new code so that I can still access my content that I purchased. So yes, it does happen.
And you are a fan of Ubisoft? Oh boy.
Yes, but this
I have never heard of this happening personally. But
yes, but it's one of those things where I feel like it happens to you all, but you probably haven't gone back to a lot of those games. You don't play them, so you haven't noticed that you don't have access anymore.
I noticed. I know, because I keep a list of games I buy. So
yeah, it definitely happens. It happened because we just talked about this on excuse me, I had a screen. it was killing
that was more important. Don't worry, that was more important.
You tap your head and rub your stomach at the same time. Are you one of those guys, or one thing at a time?
He doesn't want to poke his eye out. That's all.
I play shooters, so I deal with multiple sticks and backs of sticks all the time, so I can do more than one thing at one time. So yeah, we talked about this Tuesday on the Xbox Live Party podcast with Ubisoft and them taking away their 360 games. And one of the bad things about it, when they took away these 360 games, they're also saying that they're going to take away the DLC that came with it, which I thought is just ridiculous, because the DLC is paid if you still have it downloaded. Why do you lose all of that if you have it downloaded? If it's not connected as far as you don't need an update for it. Why can't you just keep playing it? But there are instances where this does happen, and people are going to have to figure out a better way to do that, especially with a lot of this stuff going digital. And people might not have the physical option, because there's some games that only sell digital now as well. They need to be able to fix this soon. Or what they're going to do is they're just going to take it away and try to repackage to you later on, which is just ridiculous as well. That's just scummy. Just try to make money off of you again. But there are definitely certain situations out there, and I don't think they're even trying to fix it. And some of them, and some of them is because they're hooked together. Like, they had Uplay with Ubisoft. Bringing up Ubisoft again, I don't hate Ubisoft, but it's just some of the practices you had, that when they had stuff, everything Uplay together, you bought 15 different Ubisoft games. You got, little things for playing Ubisoft games. For playing this, you get this, and this. This had this cosmetic, this clothing thing, this whatever, because you have a Uplay account. But then when they switched it to Connect, you lost a lot of stuff through that as well. When you have all this stuff tied to each other, it does mess up, and I just hate it. I really do. Yeah,
I've lost access to download certain things if I bought it and they removed it from the marketplace. Obviously, it doesn't exist anymore, and I've always found a workaround to the download through links. Nowadays, that doesn't really happen. And Xbox does a great job at game preservation as a whole. So I'm mostly entwined in the Xbox Microsoft digital stores, which they do a fairly good job of keeping things consistent there, although there are some exceptions. But I understand stuff like online servers shutting down. Obviously, you cannot support an online community forever on a 20-year-old game. I get it.
And in those situations, your physical copy means nothing.
Yeah, and that's totally different for the multiplayer online stuff. Yeah, you can't have servers forever. That's understandable.
Yeah, which is why I don't buy online only style games. Like, I won't pay for the disc, because in 20 years that disc is worthless. Or less, in some cases 5 years that disc is worthless, because it's server based. And unless they put in PvP servers or something else, private servers hosting, that online community is dead, right? So I don't really buy stuff like that. So like Destiny, I don't buy the disc. I have all that digital. Why would I buy a disc that's just going to be a coaster later on? I just don't do that. But I haven't heard of, from the way I understand what I read, they're going to go into your console, take your stuff that's no longer licensed, and delete it from your console. So if I downloaded this movie, right, it's on my console, I want it, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I bought it from the storefront, they're going to come in and grab that movie from my hard drive and delete it. That's kind of messed up. I get it, the licensing expiring, like Coolcat Terri's situation, where she signs into Uplay and this version no longer exists. You got to buy this version.
No, it wasn't had anything to do with Uplay. They took the game off Xbox Marketplace because they wanted to bundle it with another one of their games to increase sales for one of their other games that wasn't selling as well as the other. So they put them together. So you would no longer be able to run the original version.
Yeah. Hey, Fark and Al, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. He says, apparently anything you bought with Groove Music is available on OneDrive. Might be worth logging to see your old purchases are there. And they are. This is what I mean. I've always found a workaround with Microsoft's digital fronts. So he's totally right. And correct. But, a lot of stuff, a lot of these games, the disc is basically just a licensing code anymore. We're in the digital era, whether you buy physical or not. Just flat out, you're in essence, the disc are licensing codes.
like when you put the discs in today, you're not really installing off the disc. You're installing still off the servers because there's a lot of the newer games now you could buy the physical, and if you don't have internet, you can't install the game. It's not like it used to be.
Right. That's what has destroyed midnight releases from like GameStop. I remember when I used to midnight release every biggest game with all my buddies and stand in line in these sweaty, smelly feet and funk and everything else just to get my game to play at midnight.
What the hell kind of GameStops did you have, man?
It's every GameStop. Is that when you have a bunch of people, they call them sweaties for a reason because they sit there and work so hard to beat a game, they actually sweat. And some people don't know how to have good hygiene. It just happens.
Wow,
it's not the
I
store.
never experienced
that is an issue within the gaming communities. There is definitely a population of gamers that you don't care about hygiene. It's a thing.
I've done plenty of midnight releases. I even stayed overnight for my Xbox Series X, but fortunately, the GameStops I went to had more reputable customers. Apparently,
well, I tell you what. Well, the Call of Duties, I've done it for Gears, Halo, Assassin's Creed. It doesn't matter. And I've been to multiple GameStops to do it, and it's a thing. It's a thing. Go to more trade shows, and you'll see it as well.
Going to like GameWorks. Or any like comic book store where they do tabletop gaming, you'll know.
Yeah, go to more conventions, you'll see it as well.
You'll know.
You'll understand where I'm coming from. But anyway, I stopped going to them because what you would do before is you would hurry up and get the game at midnight, run home so you could go and put it in there and play the game and start it up before everybody else did. But then what happened was I used to go to the midnight releases. And then my friends who were sitting at the house who got the digital copy were already playing the game when an hour later, I'm finishing up my download or later because the servers are so full. So the download takes even longer. And it's like, what's the point of me getting this physical copy to go put it in there and then have to still wait to download the game? A lot of times, if I got the digital, I might even been able to download it 4 hours earlier, and then once the time releases, I can just start playing the game. I think that's one of the things that destroyed it. Digital day one, all that stuff. It's a convenience, but it's also going to be a curse if people don't figure out how to fix it.
There you go. Yeah, the digital era, the doom and gloom that digital era naysayers is coming true more and more every day. More and more of us are being taken advantage of, where if people didn't have those receipts, like Coolcat Terri, or they bought physical and didn't keep their physical receipts, they might be screwed on that. So the digital era is coming around and having some repercussions that is basically made to money gouge us at some level. So it is a problem that I think needs to be addressed, and maybe the metaverse could fix it. The idea of the metaverse is that if you buy something here, you have access to it everywhere, and basically an unregulated internet the way it used to be back in the 90s, a decentralized internet, I should say, where if you bought it here, you had it everywhere no matter what. Nowadays it's all about storefronts. So the meta and the storefront that creates the metaverse is going to be the big winner, which is why everybody's running to it. So yeah, well, we'll see what happens. And I just find it sad. I find it infuriating. I find it, a little like, okay, I got to be more picky of where I buy my games, because if that storefront has a history of shafting customers, I need to know. And like I said, so far the Microsoft storefronts have done a very good job of not restricting me from my content, even when it's no longer available or licensed. At least I purchased it and my license has carried through so far through their OneDrive system and through their servers and stuff. So I feel like the bigger the company, the safer you are. Hate to say it, but kind of what it is. Shout out to Splendiferous. Splendiferous joins us. Thank you so much for stopping in, Splendiferous. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. Jigo Kukin says, I hate having games being tied to a server. Chicken to run or play single player shouldn't have this at all, but with updates or patches, they have to, but I'm not a fan. Yeah. Agreed with you, Jacob Coogan. Single player games should just work, whether they're connected to the online server or not. And I know that's currently not the way it's going. So yeah. Again, yep, digital era is set to screw the consumer in the long run. If they don't figure out a solution to this problem, that's only going to get worse. Yeah, and like I said, Jacob Coogan, from the digital storefronts, Nintendo has screwed over the most people gaming wise. I'm talking games, guys. This is a gaming podcast. Nintendo first, PlayStation second, Xbox last on screwing people over. I feel that my purchases are just
Steam removes a lot of their games off their library too.
Yeah, Steam as well. You'll lose access to those. They'll delete them out of your library if you don't have them downloaded. You won't have the option to download them anymore on Steam.
I do want to clarify though, it's because I owned the digital version of my games with Ubisoft. That's what saved me. Because if I had owned the physical, I would have been SOL. It's because I bought them digitally. Microsoft keeps track of all of your purchases, so I was able to pull up the receipts. If I had bought that physical disc, there's no way I would have still had the receipt for that disc, 5 years later. So digital, was the godsend in that situation.
Exactly. Oh, and hey, shout out to Clowns. He joins us as well. What's up? Good morning, Xbox. But saying about good morning, it's time we say goodbye to Scrub Nurse because it is 10 o'clock. Scrub Nurse, let us know where they can find you.
Yeah. You can find me at different places. You can first look me up on Xbox if you like to. That'd be Scrub Space Nurse. You can check me out on Twitter at Scrub Nurse 3. Then check out everybody, all my buddies at Game Beyond the Box. They will be going back up in a couple more weeks. I know a lot of people have been finding out and hearing about Wilmy Hood's been sick and dealing with COVID and being in the hospital, and it's just been horrible. So eventually when he gets back up to help us this stuff, they will start show back up on Wednesday nights. And since I am saying that, I'm going to give a shout out to AssassinLupa as well. She's been going through a lot of things. We've been loving and thankful for the updates we get, but definitely thinking about her too. She's definitely in our hearts and minds. I also will be getting my streaming back up with my buddies. So I do that on Facebook and Twitch. So Twitch will be Scrub_Nurse. And then if you want to find any more about that, you have my Twitter handle. I have that all listed as well. So definitely glad to see all you in the chat, hanging out with you guys, talking about games and having fun. Just remember to like and subscribe and to share out. Just let everybody know where we're at. Like I said, we're on Axel's channel right now as opposed to news. So a lot of people miss out because they've been tied to news channel and they don't know or get the update. So I appreciate everybody liking and sharing out so we can get the word out there and get more people to sit there and talk and have fun with the game. So just enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Glad to have all y'all with us, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
See ya, Scrub.
All right.
Bye. All right. Scrub Nurse has got to go save lives, guys. Shaddai, what do you think about this digital era screwing over some consumers?
I don't want to confuse. I'm a little bit confused. Me personally, because I'm like, I think not too long ago, I'm like, okay, if I pay this person for something, so I know it's like you don't own the property or anything like that. I know it's a whole different thing, but at the same time, situations like this comes to mind. Like, see, at the end of the day, I pay for that. So that should be available for me wherever I go, no matter which era, whatever. They shouldn't actually remove it whatsoever. That's the way pretty much I always thought about it. But that actually needs to be fixed. And also it brought me to Forza. I don't know if you ever heard somebody mention that, but Forza just because of licensing, we got to remove it because then after that, and then the removal of
but
the
you
game.
don't lose access to it if you own it.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't lose access to it. But for people that actually, you actually say no, you don't lose it. But if they decide to remove it like that, knowing that you pay for it, like what happened to Coolcat Terri, they want to remove it and then bundle it up. That's dirty. That's really, really dirty. And that's something that needs to be fixed. That's what I think. Those are things that needs to be fixed. You pay it, you keep it, wherever it goes, access all over the place. You don't need to remove it just to bundle it up.
Yeah.
Just keep it as it is. Just keep it as it is.
I just don't see the point in removing a game to bundle it. That just seems like a cash grab, in my opinion. But that's just me. I don't see how the single game and the bundle couldn't exist by itself. Or coexist, if you will.
It's definitely a marketing ploy. Like I said, it forces anybody who wants access to the one game, they have to buy the bundle to get both.
I understand about
It's definitely shady, but at the same time, I can't blame Ubisoft 100% because it was their decision to do it, but Microsoft, because Microsoft has to approve everything on their marketplace, so Microsoft gave them the thumbs up. So it's both. It's both of them. The consumer.
I see you shifting the blame here, Terry. Responsibility.
They're both at fault, man. They're like, hey, we want to do this shady thing. Okay.
I think you need to get back to the root cause of your problem here, Terry, and that root cause is you for buying the game in the first place. You should have known there was a bundle coming.
But sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes that doesn't happen. It's like, okay, never mind, whatever. So
it's a real quick shout out here to Jago Coogan. He says, I store my receipt in the physical games as soon as I open up. So here I have my copy of Echo the Dolphin that I bought with said receipt in the box. So you're not the only one who does this, Jago. I do it as well. It's something I've just gotten accustomed to. I don't know why. I just do it. It's never done me any good, but I do it anyway. So DE said that's where Hogue says something, and she's talking about Hogue Law, great channel. We'll say something like, we aren't paying for what we think we're paying for. Even if we do, we might still not even have rights to stream it online or upload vids, etc. It's crazy. Yeah, you got to read those terms and conditions, guys.
No, and the thing is that we're a consumer. I know it's going to sound horrible, but we're a consumer. We pay them to do that. I don't care if you give me some access or whatever, but we are paying you. We're supposed to have a lot of access. That's why we pay a lot. So for a lot of things, we expect pretty much permission for a lot of things. If you're trying to pretty much charge us very steep.
Yeah.
That's the part
the money is a different story. It's a different topic altogether.
No, I know it's a different topic, but it always comes to that, no matter how you look at it, even though it's talking about like the removal or everything like that. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you're the consumer. You're the one who give them the money, to buy their product. But when they do movements like that, pretty much you're going to lose that customer anyways.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, it can leave a bad taste in some consumers' mouth.
Yep.
Splin Difference says, yes, I do the same thing, Axel, but those receipts still go blank. No, they don't. You're just not storing them right, man. You got to store them in a room with as little moisture as possible in the shade. Do not leave any of your game receipts in the sun. They will burn out. If they fade away, it's because you have too much moisture in your house, man. You just got to up your storage game.
So it's easy for someone in Texas where you have dry heat, not humidity.
Oh crap! Texas is nothing but it is humid as heck where I live. You're thinking West Texas. I live in East Texas. It is humid over here.
I guess if you're by the Gulf, but I mean, like, come on, like, no, like I'm in Georgia. Okay, it's humid here. It doesn't matter where you put it. It's gonna get. It's not happening, man. That's
in other words. I mean, you have to laminate it then.
Airtight freaking seal. Like, what? You serious?
You need to buy yourself these things called a dehumidifier. That we have the technology, Terry.
I'm not buying a dehumidifier to preserve a stupid receipt. Like, that's not ethical. All right. So, no.
That's okay. Just get a blower. Like, yo,
why'd you buy the humidifier? Because I care more about my receipts.
I need my tax records.
Just you know what? You just need to laminate them. That's pretty much it. Just laminate them.
Time to start vacuum sealing our receipts.
Oh, Splendiferous! I've definitely had receipts go blank,
especially because the laminator works off heat, and a lot of those receipts are printed on heat paper. You know what I'm talking about. So I think laminate.
Yeah,
I might go laminate one just for fun. I have a laminator.
Some stores use the texture of the receipt paper is different depending on where you go. And I know, like, for example, like I used to work for Family Dollar back when I was in college. They had the thinnest, cheapest freaking receipt paper. So like you could literally your fingers touching the receipt would make the ink disappear. Like that's how cheap the receipts are.
Wow.
So yeah,
some of them are glossy.
They're like returns only with receipt suckers.
Like a humidifier isn't gonna matter, but the moment you touch your receipt, the thing is already losing the ink. So it's like you gotta like go in there with like the white gloves, like you're handing like an ancient artifact because it's gonna crumble before you get home. Like that.
You know what? If you're in a store, that's the receipt paper I would use and put a policy up there. Refunds only with receipts. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You got to set the customer up for failure, guys.
Family Dollar did. I don't know if they still are in that practice now because it's I'm talking like over 15 years ago when I worked for them. But back then, man, they used the cheapest freaking paper, man. Like no, that ink was gone when you got home.
The only paper that I will use for receipts is this one right here. That's pretty much it.
Or you go grocery shop and they throw your receipt in the bag, and what happens? The condensation from your milk or whatever, freaking just nah. They don't hand it to you, shove it in there. Next thing you know, you're peeling your receipt off your milk jug. Like what the heck, man? They set you up for failure.
Real quick, shout out to Splendiferous. He's gotta go. Thank you so much for joining us, Splendiferous, and thanks for the receipt topic that we're not talking about.
I can't believe Diego actually nailed it. What I was gonna say.
Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the show today, guys. Let's go ahead and get out of here and let people enjoy their Sunday. I'm sure they got things to do. Shaddai, let the people know where they can find you.
Other than people watching the box that says Marco Pro with toilet paper, but people can find me at Twitter at Eternal Shaddai. The same thing for Xbox Console, Eternal Shaddai. I'll be streaming also on Twitch at ET Shaddai. So lately I'll be streaming Tales of Arise until I finish it, until I jump to another game. Other than that, I'll see you next Sunday. I hope everybody have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you so much, Shaddai. Terry, let the people know where they can find you.
All right, you can pretty much find me everywhere. So just search my name. It's either going to be Coolcat Terri like you see here, or it'll be Coolcat _Terri if you're over there on the Twitter land. Go ahead and check all that out. I'm also on Twitch. Monday through Wednesday, 6 p.m. to like 10 p.m. ish. You can check all that out. But also before I go, I want to have a little food for thought because I've been thinking about this entire time because of Shaddai. So like. You think about it with toilet paper. When you see the ads, the ads are always pushing cleanliness, freshness, right? But then they put it in a brown package. Why is the product that they advertise for clean and fresh they're putting in a brown package?
Good question. What is expensive?
Food for thought, man. Food for thought. They could put it in a white box, but no, they choose brown. Food for thought.
Save money on that toilet paper. Choose brown.
It probably sucks a lot of moisture.
Oh my goodness. All right. Food for thought, guys. From Terry. All right, guys. Before I leave, though, I want to give a quick shout out to AssassinLupa. I heard that her procedure went well. She's in the road to recovery. So we can't wait for Lupa to finish her recovery and join us back here whenever she's ready. Take your time, Lupa. No rush. But when you are ready, we're here for you. Wilmy Hood as well, recovering from COVID. Shout out to him and his show, Gaming Beyond the Box. Wednesday night. Yeah, so shout out to him and anybody else who's just going through a tough time, guys. We have a community of people that, even though we might not be able to physically help you or monetarily help you, you are in our thoughts. We do care about you. You are somebody to someone, and if you need just some people to to chat with, let us know. Oh, and shout out to Paul, who's going through a tough time with his bladder. So, Paul, whenever you pass that stone,
his kidneys.
That's right, his kidney. Whenever you pass that stone, we'll be here waiting to have you back on the panel. With that being said, guys, I'm Axel1324. You can find me Axel1324 Gaming here on YouTube. If you're here, you obviously found me. Be sure to share out the show. It helps out a lot. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter and on Xbox, Axel1324, exactly how it's spelled right here. And with that being said, guys, the chat, as always, you guys could have done anything else this Sunday morning, but you chose to spend it with us. And for that, I am very grateful, and we are all very grateful for your audience and your time. And that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to any of my shows. We'll catch you guys next week right here on Good Morning Xbox. See you, everybody.
Bye.